Good morning, guys. Saturday morning again. Groundhog Day. Couldn't go straight in this morning. I had to stop and get a bite. Starving. Slightly overindulged last night, so it'll be interesting today. I've got no idea what I'm going to do today. Got plenty of little jobs to do, so just going to get there, assess, pick 3 or 4 easy things. Got to go to Screwfix, buy the bits and pieces, and we'll get stuck in. I think today probably I need to finish that HLT properly. It's done electrically. The panel's done. The timer's now on. I'll show you that in a second. The timer's on, and it's switching off and switching on as programmed. So just the plumbing now. I'm filling it with a hose, so I just need to do something a bit more permanent. Oh my god, this wind. I know I moan about it a lot, but I live like 5 minutes away and it's not windy at all. I don't know what's going on. Right, update time. Where did I leave you last time? I think it was Saturday last week. So we've done loads. The more observant of you may see some of my handiwork here and there. So I'll run you through it. The control panel for the HLT, not sophisticated. Certainly not to the standards required by other brewers, but does the job, and that's good enough for now. I'm sure we're going to add stuff later, but just want to start getting some beer made, and we'll work out how we can make that easier with more controls and stuff as we go along. So for now, what we have is an STC 1000. Water temperature in the HLT target is 85 degrees. It's currently at 9.5 degrees. It's in heat mode, so it thinks it's heating, but it will be disappointed because it won't heat until this timer says it's time to heat, which for us is probably midnight Friday. So by the time we get in on a Saturday morning, we've got 85 degree water in the big tank ready to use. What else have I done? This thing's still dripping a little bit. It's just weeping rather than dripping. You can see it's sort of glistening there. Don't know why. Probably just need a load more PTFE tape or something, but I'll have a fiddle with that later. It's a bit of a pain because, I can't disconnect anything without rotating the whole thing. So, anyway, probably find a better way. So this little gadget here is the water meter, which controls the flow of water to the pump. I'm still operating the pump manually, but the amount of water which is dispensed or transferred into the HLT is controlled by this. I've got it set at 10 litre increments at the moment, so if you look at the screen you'll see it's got 20 on it. That's because I've done 2 batches of 10. If I just reset that, oh, wrong one, clear, reset that so it goes back to 0, and then if you go into the menu, you can see quantitative, 10 litres. I could set that to 200 or whatever. Go back to the main menu, and then if we press start or stop run, we're now green, and the pump is able now to pump until we get to 10 litres. I'm just pumping basically out of the bottom and into the top at the moment, so it's not really doing anything, is it? Just moving the water from top to bottom, but it's just going to come shooting out of there in a second. So if I turn the pump on, if you can hear me, after 10 litres that'll stop. Just a few drips left in the pipe at the end there, but yeah, 10 litres, brilliant. So that just allows us to measure, not so much for filling the tank. Another addition you'll see is just a simple, I've not marked it yet other than the level of the element, is this sight glass on the side, polycarbonate sight glass, so goes all the way to the 600 at the top. And I'll transfer known amounts with this. Just reconfigure the piping and or maybe just measure it. Simple enough, isn't it? Volume of a cylinder, pi d h or something. Oh, I'll look later. So on the side of the HLT, a couple of bits not quite finished yet, but we have a means of filling it. This is the cold supply coming in into the building from the sink over there. So we've teed off into here, got this isolator so I can automatically fill. So if I just, is that on? Yeah, if I just turn that on now, you can't hear it because it's underwater, but I can feel it. I can feel it going in. I need to support this a bit better as well, but it'll do for now. So water in. The water I'll cover that in a second. That's the good bit. Either way, cold water supply off into the HLT and also off down this pipe around the back, all the way round to the input on the heat exchanger. So the cold water will go into the heat exchanger. It will exit as hot water. I've got a valve there if I just want to stop any flow through on the outlet side. And then the hot water follows the same route back. And another isolator this end. Not that I'm paranoid about bursts and things, but you know what I mean. Hot water, plastic pipes, no idea. And that hot water supply coming back, this pipe here, tees in. So if I want to fill the HLT with the cooling water, I can obviously leave the mains water supply shut off and fill through this T and in, which will then fill all the way up to the top. I've no means of stopping an overflow at the moment. I've put this pipe on here really with a view to, this is the cold supply in here into possibly that pump, and then up and back in. So when we're heating the water, I can circulate, drawing water from the bottom of the tank and dropping it into the top of the tank, or the other way around if I want. Not sure I'd want to do that though, but yeah, so the pipes are there but not yet connected, but that should be easy enough, and I'm only going to use that when we're heating the mash water ready for the following day's brew. So when this thing comes on, the timer, I will also get to turn the pump on, or I can just leave the pump running when we go home. It's just going to move cold water around for a while. There's probably some flaws with this setup. Like I said, we won't know till we get a brew on, and then it will become apparent that we've got things in the wrong place or stuff's not working right. And hopefully that will be sooner rather than later. As far as transferring is concerned, you may have seen this little collection of Brewflex pipes in the corner here. I do need a little bit, like a meter of the high temperature version of these. These are good to 80 Celsius, which is fine for out of the mash tun, just slightly out of spec, but it's close enough. So I can transfer. I've set up the mash tun so that we can transfer into the bottom and into the top, so I've got a choice of underlet or not, and obviously we can transfer out of the bottom while we're feeding the top through the pump during sparge. So pushing water in the top, drawing water off the bottom. Yes, I know, I've thought about the potential issues with stuck sparge sucking on the grain bed, so there's also a possible underback type solution that we can think about, but I'm pretty sure mashed on this size, if I'm very just careful with the amount of suck from the pump, I think we'll be alright. Again, we'll find out, won't we? If not, I'll need a stainless steel bin from IKEA or something. So yeah, you'll see on here a mixture of males and females, 1.5 inch, 1 inch, right angle straight, little short couplers. This pump's now electrically connected. Over here we've now got, on the spare way that we had in the consumer unit, we've now got pump. It's a waterproof cover on it, so if we're a bit wet, we should be alright and not die, hopefully. So that's wired in there. I've tried it very briefly, it spins. I'm missing 1.25 inch RJT fitting on the front. I thought they were both 1 inch plonker, so I definitely need to order that. And then we can pump from the mash tun into the copper. We've got 2 choices. One is into this port. In fact, 3 choices. We can go into this port, or what the guys that used to own the kit did was use this spittoon stolen from a dentist's, I think, which would sit on there. Oh, come on, get on. Yeah, sorry about that. So from the pump through these hoses, we can go into the copper in the top, or into this spittoon arrangement by resting the connector there with the right angled end on, and you can pick any bits out or whatever. Not sure about that. What I don't have is any sort of filter so far. I've got things at home we could use as filters, just in terms of catching any bits that make it through the mesh. There's bound to be some. We'll probably pick some of them up when we're loutering, but we'll see. So that's the pump there, and then the same pump used once we're done pumping out from, this is what I need that super high temp hose for, pumping out of the 1.5 inch RJT on the front there into the pump, out of the pump, and then I've got rigid pipe, stainless steel pipe over there, long pipes that I can use to feed the heat exchanger, and then out of the heat exchanger on an RJT into fermenter 1 or Daisy. So not much to do on the brewing side, but still plenty of jobs that we need to do, although we could technically start brewing and just work through those things over the following weeks. But essential to the brewing side is insulate that. When I went to Harry's the other week, he had an idea, and I've tried it only with 1 sheet, and it's a bit rough. But taking some of that foam insulation, scoring it, which allows you to curve it round, and then fill the gaps with squirty foam. This is the 50mm stuff. It's probably a little bit thick, but the only thing that's really going to get in the way is the sight glass, and actually I've got 50mm at the bottom. It just gets a bit closer at the top, so I'm possibly going to do that. Just get some double-sided tape on the stainless steel, stick them on loosely in place, and then strap them, fill the gaps, and then wrap it in something to make it look nice. Might wood clad it, but price of timber at the moment, I might as well buy a new mash tun. So probably foil for now or something. So we've got to do that. The steam chimney duct thingy bob, almost measure that before I go home. Out of there, definitely needs to be done soon. We've got the water jets, and I've got the water supply behind, so no excuse to not do that now. Everything needs cleaning. This tank was used for wild fermentations and sours and stuff, so we've got to just blast that to death. I've got to do something with that still. This needs doing. One of the team of landlords was round yesterday. He was looking at it as though perhaps they're going to do something with it, so that's all right. If they want to board it off, I'll just put a couple of little hatches in so I can get access. They're also talking about painting the outside of the building as well, which would be nice, because it does look a bit dated now. And then obviously, yeah, you see the daylight there, look. And then obviously get that floor done. It does mean moving the kit, but I'd rather have it in and move it than risk epoxying the floor before the weather's right. We're pretty close now, I think. I've seen a few days which are sort of 12 degrees recently. Not today, it's cold again, but certainly within the next few weeks, hopefully. And still no doors on these, which is entirely down to me. Just need to speak to David and get him to come round again with his sawhorse and tools and do something with it. Probably just going to make doors out of this stuff again. We could probably hinge it and still roll a fork truck in. Oh, kegs and casks are ordered as well. I found a place that leases them for literally next to nothing a month. I think £1.50 a month or something. So I've ordered what I think is probably sufficient to keep us going for 3 months or so. Don't know what the delivery time is, but they're ordered and coming. So that's it for the weekend, I think. Didn't show you much going on yesterday, but I did take some video. I'll have a little look and see if it's worth putting in. If it is, you'll have seen it by now. If you haven't, then you won't. Have a good week, guys. Bye.